Hi there, so we're going to do a short lab today, and I thought I would actually run through doing it with you. And I'm going to collect the data, and then you're going to analyze the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a reaction between iron ions, which are Fe+3 ions, and thiocyanate ions, which is SCN-. And when you react them together, you get a nice little reddish solution that looks like that. So here you can sort of see what iron plus 3 ions look like in solution. They're more or less colorless. And the same thing for the thiocyanate ions, more or less colorless. But when they react, you get this, this really cool orangish red solution. Oftentimes it's red. I actually made this solution and I diluted it quite a bit to get it to an orange color. What I did from there then is I took some of the iron thiocyanate complex that I made and I put it into these test tubes. And these test tubes have approximately 10 milliliters of the solution each in each one. Now what we're going to do is see what happens when we add different amounts of each of the things to it. Now this one I actually previously added 10 milliliters, or 10 drops, I'm sorry, of water to. So this one I just took 10 drops of water out of here and I added it to test tube number 1. So we use it as a reference. We're going to compare the next set of observations to that. So to test tube number 2 then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 10 drops, or approximately 10 drops of iron ions. So here I am getting the iron ions out of here, and I'm going to add them into test tube number 2. We'll see what happens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we can now take a look, sort of see the difference between the two. So if I added the 10 drops of iron plus 3 ions, the colors changed somewhat. Okay. So next thing we're going to do then is we'll add 10 drops of the thiocyanate ions to the next one. So here we go. We're going to fill up a dropper with it. And so here we go. I'm getting 10 drops out of here. And I'm going to put it in the test tube 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoa. Okay, and we see another color change going on here. Okay, so there's some nice color changes going on. We'll mix them up all a little bit so you can see what's going on. So those are the first, so that's the solution here. Again, just one, I added 10 drops of water. Here I added 10 drops of iron ion. In fact, that iron ion is what is added here, and then I added 10 drops of the thiocyanate ion here. Next one we're going to take a look at is I'm going to add 10 drops of dihydrogen phosphate to the next test tube. And dihydrogen phosphate is a little bit different. It actually doesn't show up in the equilibrium reaction, but what it does is it reacts with iron ions and removes them from solution. So I'm going to add my 10 drops now. So I just got here they are. Okay, here we go. And we are going to add our 10 drops to test tube number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I had an extra drop. I actually was switching my focus there. Oh, and then we have something different going on here. So those are the results that you're going to be analyzing today in class, okay? So just to review, okay, first we have just the iron ion and the thiocyanate ion reacting to form a complex, okay, a complex ion, and that's number 1. Number 2, what I did was I added 10 drops of iron ion to that mixture. Number 3, I added 10 drops of the thiocyanate ion to that mixture. And number 4, I added 10 drops of the dihydrogen phosphate ion to that mixture. Okay, so that's the first piece. Okay, now that was for model 1. If I take a look at model 2, what I had you doing is I had you adding it to this mixture to hot water and cold water. So let's take a look at what we see. We're going to use this one as our sort of basis for comparison. So what I did is same thing to test tubes here we have test tube 5 and test tube 6, and in each of those what I did is, before I started videoing, I put 10 milliliters plus 10 drops of water, just like the other test tubes. So this one had 10 milliliters of this stock iron thiocyanate complex. And I'm going to take this out, so this is nice and cold, and I'm going to see if there's any difference between here and here. And a slight difference maybe. Okay, it's not very clear, but it looks like the cold one might be a little bit darker. So no, test tube number 5 appears to be a little bit darker than test tube number 1 to my eyes. And then we'll take a look at number 6. Okay, number 6, this is in a hot water bath. Okay, so here number 5 was in some ice water, and test tube number 6 is in some cool water. And to my eyes, that looks like it's a little bit lighter colored than the original test tube. So it looks like as you make it cooler, this solution gets darker. Okay, and then as you make it warmer and warmer, it becomes lighter and lighter. So that's the data that you're going to work with. So what I'd like you to do then is try to answer the questions on the LeChatelier's sheet, investigating LeChatelier's principle. And we're going to talk about those answers in class today. Okay, thanks. Bye.